And a good evening to you from Brunswick Community College. Today on YouTube, it's Dolphins basketball as the 16-4 Brunswick Dolphins host their crosstown rivals, the 15-2 Cape Fear Sea Devils. Today's game brought to you by our friends at Joe and Mo's Automotive. It rolls right off your tongue, doesn't it? Hi again, everybody. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. Let's meet the starting lineups for both of these teams. First for Cape Fear. Again, 15-2 are the Sea Devils. It's number 1, Jalen Cameron. Number 5, J.J. Miles. Number 21, J.V. Milner. Number 23, Dante Tatum. And number 24, Quate McKenzie. Starting today for Walter Shaw in his 19th season and your 16-4 Brunswick Dolphins, 9-1 here at home and 2-2 in Region 10 play. It's number 1, Freddie Taylor. Number 2, Zach Newkirk. Number 14, Brandon Lamberth. Number 15, Mike Melvin. And number 24, Silas Love. So that's the starters for both of these teams. Brunswick coming back home to start a 4-game homestand after that 4-game road trip where they went 2-2. They played 2 different back-to-back weekend games. A couple of weekends ago, they played down at USC Salkehatchie and then Denmark Tech. They're coming off a 91-85 victory at Caldwell Tech on Sunday. And again, 2-2 on that 4-game road trip. 2 back-to-backs to start Region 10 play. 4 straight here at home. 3 of those 4 will be Region 10 games, and we're going to have all 4 for you coming up. So it's a busy couple of weeks of basketball to wrap up January and as we head into the month of February. Brunswick is looking to snap a long losing streak to their rivals. Cape Fear leads the all-time series 24-15. Sea Devils have won 11 in a row. The last Dolphins win came back in 2014. That was before my hair started to recede. 84-67, the Dolphins won on January 11, 2014 here at home. Last year, Cape Fear won 88-74 on their home court on January 20th and 86-82 at Brunswick last February 24th. It was a nail-biter. Brunswick actually led that game throughout. Cape Fear came back in the final moments to win it. Dolphins will control the opening tip as you see the Dolphins in their home white and Cape Fear in their dark navy blue. Top of the key, it's Taylor. 3 point guards today. Newkirk, Melvin, and Taylor. We've seen this lineup before as Melvin misses the 3. Offensive rebound by the little guy Taylor, and he gets the scoring party started. Freddie Taylor, 4.5 points per ball game. He has played well, especially as the season has gone on, particularly here in this second semester. This is Miles, top of the key. McKenzie, same spot, back to Miles. Hands it off to Milner. Tatum. We saw Tatum last year in this game. Steps into a 3. Missed it short. Melvin the rebound. Into the forecourt, it's Taylor on the toss. Quick to Lamberth. Turnaround shot bounces out. And the rebound by Miles. Here come the Sea Devils. Miles pull up 3. NBA style for Cape Fear here in the early going as McKenzie was unable to throw it off of Lamberth. He actually stepped out of bounds. So we've seen this 3-guard lineup often for Walter Shaw. I believe only one other game at least that I've called where we've seen all 3 point guards start. They combined for about 11 assists, 12 assists. Oh, Mike Melvin couldn't get the bank. Silas Love, yes, and the foul. And as you hear, it is louder than normal for this home game. These two schools, they all know each other pretty well. And they like to beat each other, let's put it that way. Silas Love, 4th in Division I in offensive rebounding. Completes the old school 3-point play. He has 85, counting that offensive rebound. 5-0 Brunswick. Tatum walks it up. Milner on the left. This Brunswick team feeling very confident here tonight. Miles turnaround shot. Missed it back iron. Sea Devils are cold at the start. Lamberth another rebound. Newkirk into the forecourt. How about Brandon Lambert? 29 and 14 in his last 2 ball games. Points and rebounds. Freddie Taylor will call out a play. Melvin between the circles, 8 to shoot. Taylor steps left, fires the jumper, missed it long, rebound Tatum. Tatum's a double-double guy, much like Silas Love. The difference is Tatum's a guard. 5-0 here, just about 2.5 minutes in. Cape Fear patient. McKenzie looking to post up on Silas. Good defense by Love. Couldn't get the rebound, though. Milner with the putback. Cape Fear finally gets on the board. Freddie Taylor. Toss to Mike Melvin. Melvin has been on fire. Lamberth, a bad-looking shot that time. Mike Melvin, though, double figures in his last 6 games. He's over 17 a game in that stretch. Cameron right around the defense. Too strong. Got the offensive rebound, had it stripped. Freddie Taylor trying to save it, but he can't. And we'll stay on this side of the floor. Well, if you're looking to snap an 11-game losing streak against the Sea Devils and your Brunswick, you can't give them extra possessions like that. Point of emphasis on rebounding and limiting turnovers today. Brunswick escapes those. The 3-ball went in and out. Silas Love tipped it to Melvin. Mike Melvin strong to the bucket. Can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Miles. Toss over to the right to Milner. Milner over to Cameron. Cameron dared to shoot. Missed it back iron. Offensive rebound Miles. Turnaround shot. Yes. J.J. Miles over 13 a game. 40% shooter. 5-4. Back-to-back buckets for Cape Fear. Mike Melvin up top, dribbles to the left. He's guarded by Miles in the man-to-man. Lot of size for the Sea Devils. Silas Love gets it back out to Mike for 3. Can't get it to go. Melvin cold at the start, follows his shot, hangs. Just can't get the bounce to go, but a foul is called on Cape Fear. Second on the Sea Devils. None yet on Brunswick, just about 4 minutes into the game. I mentioned Melvin, 62% shooting in his last 6 games. Cold at the start. How about that from Lamberth? Might have gotten hit too. No call, but good bucket by Brandon Lamberth. Tatum looking the sky, it's deflected. Another steal for the Dolphins. Newkirk surveys, attacking, drawing the foul, took a hard fall, but he's okay. Zach Newkirk, 7 games with over 5 assists on the season. Being aggressive there wisely, averages 7.5 points per ball game. 67% at the line this season. 3 team fouls on Cape Fear now, here in the early going. Brunswick 11th in Division I in the NJCAA with 12.3 steals per game. Looks like Tatum's going to stay in. They had a sub, Cape Fear, James Moore, number 35, a sophomore, into the game. Well, both free throws are good, and it's 9-4 Brunswick in the early going. This is always a fun game to call. These days, as Tatum drives to the bucket, good defense, got tied up. Possession arrow will keep it on this side of the floor. These kids all play AAU together, and so many players from Brunswick, especially from North Carolina. Cape Fear recruits a little bit outside the state from time to time, but they have a lot of local talent. Silas Love the steal. It's a 3-on-1. Oh, what a pass by Taylor. Better defense, though, in transition by Moore to get the block on Love. It'll stay on this side of the floor, though. Silas Love, 10 double-doubles on the year, 20th in scoring at 21 points per ball game. Going to need him offensively, especially in games like this. Shot goes in and out that time. Rebound controlled by the Sea Devils, Milner, and then he's fouled. It's the first on Brunswick here in the first half. Both of these teams like to push the tempo. Brunswick 91.9 points per ball game. Cape Fear, they've got the capabilities to go over the century mark. Turnaround shot by Miles, way off. And Silas Love with another rebound. Taylor into the forecourt. Taylor with some stutter moves. Drawing the defense, gets it out. Newkirk fakes the three. Trying to drive, pull up right at a lane. It's short. Both teams are cold. Some nerves maybe here in the early going. Miles in transition, counted in the foul. J.J. Miles doing most of the work offensively for the Sea Devils here tonight. Going to get a sub for Brunswick. Adrian Scarborough coming in for Brandon Lamberth. Scarborough, good second option off the bench, 4.5 points, 66% shooter, and nearly 6 rebounds per game off the bench. Rebounding so important here tonight for Brunswick against the size of the Sea Devils. Melvin into the forecourt. He's guarded by Friday, who's come into the game. Ryan Friday wearing number 32 for Cape Fear. Taylor backs it out, sets up the offense with 8 to shoot. He's got to set it up quickly. Taylor takes it left. 4 on the shot clock. I don't think he's aware as Melvin. Melvin is, he hoists. Almost banked it in, but it goes in and out. More of the rebound. Here come the Sea Devils. This is Miles for 3. Way off. Tipped rebound comes to Friday. Extra possession for Cape Fear. Friday driving, dishing. Milner, corner 3. It's long. Tip for the rebound. Taylor had it, lost it. It was stripped, tried to get it back, and it's deflected off the Sea Devils, they say. Frantic here in the early going between these two schools. Not a surprise at all. Tyrese Cheek coming into the game. So Cheek is in for the Dolphins. Season high 32 against USC Salkehatchie on the road a couple of weekends ago. Right around the defense. That's too easy for Scarborough. Cape Fear was sleeping that time. Friday gets it off to Horton, who came in for Miles for Cape Fear. This is Friday setting it up, trying to drive on Cheek. Corner shot, nice fake, and the step left. Horton can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound. Melvin is there. Good rebounding guard, Mike Melvin. Averaging 5 per game. Extra pass, and Silas Love draws the contact. Silas Love has scored in double figures in all but one. So far in the second semester, he hasn't been counted on as much because so many other players have stepped up, but they're looking for him here in this one, and Brunswick's got a 5-point lead as we take a timeout. Big thanks to our friends at Joe and Mo's Automotives in Charlotte for sponsoring today's game. I know them because I drive past them every time I come up here to call a game. Silas Love at the line. Brunswick 11, Cape Fear 6. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here on YouTube for this contest between these two rivals. Brunswick trying to snap an 11-game losing streak to Cape Fear. Last win against the Sea Devils back in 2014. 4 team fouls on Cape Fear, 2 on Brunswick here at the 13-13 mark in this first half. 1 out of 2 for Silas Love, and Brunswick doubling up Cape Fear in a surprisingly low-scoring affair so far. 12-6. Friday into the forecourt. Horton in the corner. Friday guarded by Melvin, gets it back. Melvin and Scarborough with Love and Cheek. Also Newkirk. And now it's a steal. Running and gunning the Dolphins, and they're just not hitting their shots today. Scarborough came up with the steal. Cheek can't get the bucket, though. Turnaround shot by Miles. Great defense by Brunswick. Newkirk looking to push. Alley-oop. Cheek can't throw it down. Newkirk the rebound, though. Love lost it. Bounces it out. Scarborough. Scarborough draws the foul. Woo. I don't want to oversell this game, but do you guys remember that Game 7 between the Lakers and Celtics in, I want to say, 2009? Where it was like 18-16 after the first quarter, and it was just a bloodbath. They were picking and poking, and it was a defensive struggle. That's the feel of this one. Again, maybe a little bit of an oversell, but it's got that intensity, and that defensive struggle is real so far. Now Scarborough gets 1 out of 2. Brunswick by 7. 5 team fouls already for Cape Fear. Still 12 minutes to go. Tatum back in. Coming back on the court, Trayvon Farrell, number 4, checks in for the first time, handing it off to Tatum. Tatum ripped away by Osborne Harvey, who's in for Brunswick, but they call a foul. That's 3 now on the Dolphins. So Tatum will inbound it. Top of the key, Miles swings it left side. The 3 high arcing shot, no good by Horton. Another offensive rebound for Moore, and it's poked away. Steal by Melvin, and Melvin lays it up and in. How about the defense at the start of this one for Brunswick? 15-6. Daquan Lockamy into the game as well, and Osborne Harvey there to poke away that pass, and Mike Melvin applauds along with the crowd. The Dolphins are focused here tonight. Quick shot by Farrell in the corner. Lockamy tips it. Osborne Harvey the rebound, and the Dolphins will walk it into the forecourt. Melvin, the sophomore from Fayetteville. Bounce pass to Scarborough. Scarborough posting up on the shorter man. Got it to go. How about this start for Brunswick? 17-6. Tatum looking to answer, and he does. Quiets the crowd for a moment, and Dante Tatum, a 66% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Try to complete the old school three-point play. Mike Melvin goes out. Freddie Taylor comes back in. So it's Taylor, Cheek, Osborne Harvey, Scarborough, and Lockamy. The 5 for your Dolphins. Tatum swishes it through. Brunswick's lead is 9. Inside 11 minutes to go here in this opening half. 9 combined fouls in the early going. 5 on the Sea Devils, 4 on the Dolphins. Taylor on the right, directing traffic. And away from the ball, a foul is called. That's team foul number 6 now, so Brunswick's going in the bonus on the next defensive set foul. Good news for the Dolphins. Here's Lockamy. Toss to Osborne Harvey. Taylor steps into a 3, and that shot way off. Farrell the board. Here comes Cape Fear, trying to make some noise after falling behind 11. Open look, Horton for 3, can't get it to go. Everybody other than Tatum and Miles so far are not doing anything for the Sea Devils. Here's Lockamy. Lockamy looking to post up, and he dribbled it right out of bounds. Silas Love's going to come back into the game for the Dolphins, getting a short break. J.V. Milner, who started the game, coming in for Horton. Tatum into the forecourt. Calls out the play. The bounce pass goes to Miles. Turnaround shot is short. Good defense that time again. Brunswick just getting hands in faces. That's all you got to do sometimes. Osborne Harvey from the elbow. No. Tip for the rebound. Two Sea Devils fighting for it. Milner pulls it down. Past the midway point, 17-9. A very low scoring game for both of these teams. More so for Cape Fear. Tatum was stripped, falls down, able to get it out to Miles. Miles drives in, defender falls down, and he gets the bucket. So 5 straight for Cape Fear after Brunswick went up by 11. Cheek on the right, and a foul is going to be called on Friday. 17 fouls now on the Sea Devils, so Brunswick shooting free throws over the final 9:21. Silas Love at the line, 71% free throw shooter. Weston Edwards coming into the game for Brunswick. Osborne Harvey will sit down. Love can't get the 1-and-1, the front end that is, and McKenzie pulls down the rebound. Quate McKenzie coming back in. Tatum starting to heat up for the Sea Devils is Dante Tatum. And that's trouble if you're Brunswick. Taylor. Here's Cheek on the right. Tyrese Cheek on a switch, looking to get it down to Love. Taylor gets it out. Weston Edwards drives in, gets it out. Cheek with 2 on the shot clock, draws iron, but that's it. Good defense for Cape Fear. In transition, it's Tatum. Numbers for McKenzie and the Sea Devils, and a blocking foul is called on Brunswick. So an opportunity for an old school 3-point play for McKenzie. And it's now a 9-0 Cape Fear run. Brandon Lamberth coming back into the game for Brunswick. Brunswick 2-2 in Region 10 play. They host Richard Bland, a newcomer to Division I. Their basketball team was in Division II last year. So first conference or region game against Richard Bland Saturday at 2 p.m. Then they're off for a week, and they get a little bit of a breather on the 2nd of February. They take on a prep school, Shooting for Greatness, at 4 p.m. It's been a busy stretch for the Dolphins. 4 straight on the road. They went 2-2, and I think if you're Walter Shaw, you'll take that at USC Salkin. At Spartanburg, the 2 losses, but they were competitive games, much like this one has been. Here's McKenzie trying to complete the 3-point play, and he swishes it through. So 10-0 run for Cape Fear after Brunswick went up by 11. Now their lead is 1. Trapping pressure shown here for the Dolphins. Lamberth doubled up, gets it out to Love. Here's Cheek. Cheek splits the defense, strong to the bucket, and draws the foul on McKenzie. They've called it tight. So Tyrese Cheek at the line, 75% free throw shooter. Money on the first one. Ends a 10-0 run. Brunswick now by 2. J.J. Miles back in for Cape Fear. Cheek gets them both. Brunswick's lead 19-16, nearing the 8-minute mark. Tatum again, driving, dishing. Here's Farrell with a couple up and unders. Couldn't get it. And Love the rebound. So if you're Brunswick, you focus on Tatum. Cheek for three, can't get it to go. Well, good box out there by Milner. Miles has also had the hot hand. Not that time, though. He airballed it. Farrell saves it, though. Milner drives in, and good offense there for Cameron, who gets the bucket to go, and Walter Shaw wants to talk about it. 19-18, Brunswick. They've led throughout, but Cape Fear is starting to put it together offensively. We'll be back. As always, we thank our friends at Joe's and Moe's Automotive sponsoring today's broadcast. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. If you're just joining us, Brunswick has led by as many as 11. Cape Fear has never led, but Cape Fear used a 10-0 run here just recently to get back in it. And now it's a one-point game, 19-18 for Brunswick. Tyrese Cheek, Silas Love, Weston Edwards, Taylor and Lamberth are the five on the court. Silas Love swings it out to Cheek. Cheek left alone. Yes. You give him a little space, and that's money in the bank. 46% shooter, 14.7 points per game. And as I mentioned, a season high 32 against Salkehatchie on the road. Farrell gets in the corner, fake by Miles. Ball deflected. Edwards almost had a steal. Stays with Cape Fear, though. The activity starting to pick up. Milner open three, can't bank it in. Tipped rebound. Lamberth comes up with it. Taylor looks over at Coach Shaw for instructions. Freddie Taylor, 3.8 assists per ball game, mainly off the bench. Cheek to Lamberth. Oh, boy, Lamberth had a wide open lane. Got it to go. And the foul. Just how they drew it up. Lamberth, his defender gambled, went for the steal. Lamberth had to gather the basketball, but he had a wide open lane, was able to gather. And it looked like it was going to be an awkward play, but he turned it into a potential three-point play here. 9 team fouls on Cape Fear, 5 on Brunswick. Old school three-point play complete. Brunswick pushes it back to 6. Tatum drives in, gets it out. Farrell, corner shot, open look, and an air ball by Miles. Put back by Milner is no good, but he's fouled. Team foul number 6 on Brunswick. 6:28 left to go here in this first half. Not the usual offensive consistency that we're used to from either one of these teams, but it's still been fun. The atmosphere here helps. JV Milner, 67% at the line. Gets the first one to go. Some subs coming in. Zach Newkirk for Brunswick. And for Cape Fear, it's Jordan John, number 33. It's good to see a good Brunswick contingency. Sometimes, at least last year, seemed like Cape Fear just kind of took over the gym. Bad pass there by Cheek. Good defense by Cape Fear in transition. Going coast to coast. Cameron can't get it. Newkirk threw it right to Tatum, and he's rejected. Silas Love leads the team in blocks, and I believe that's his second here tonight. Tatum throws it in to Horton. Tatum, the hop step, short on the floater, and again, this time Cape Fear had positioning but lost it out of bounds. So Brunswick is really struggling on the glass. A couple of missed layups early on for Brunswick and some extra shot opportunities for the Sea Devils, or this might be a double-digit game in favor of the Dolphins. Oh, Silas Love had trouble with the pass, falls down. It's a steal by Tatum. Tatum 3-on-3. There's John getting it out to Horton from downtown. In and out. Put back is good by Milner, though, and it's a 2-point game. Cape Fear cannot get a 3 to go, but Brunswick can't get a rebound. Taylor on the left. Threw it away. No communication there offensively. Inside 5 minutes to go. Cape Fear can tie or take the lead. Turnaround 3. That's a shot that, if you're Cape Fear, you can get anytime. Cheek in transition. He draws the foul. Turnaround 3 fading away with plenty of time on the shot clock is not what you want if you're the Sea Devils in that situation. And it led to a run out. Now Tyrese Cheek, one of the better free throw shooters on the Dolphins team, gets 2. Dolphins, by the way, now in the double bonus. Cape Fear's in the 1-1 over the final 4:45. Cheek first miss from the charity stripe tonight. J.J. Miles coming back into the game. Cheek missed them both. Miles gets the rebound. Tatum into the forecourt. Tatum driving over 2 defenders, and Dante will go to the line. As I mentioned earlier, 66% free throw shooter. This rivalry is really a rivalry of the haves and have-nots, and if you're a Brunswick fan, as I know most of you are, probably sick of me harping on the fact, but Brunswick is one of the smallest schools to have athletics at the junior college level in the state of North Carolina. Cape Fear, conversely, is one of the biggest. And that makes a big difference in funding and facilities and all kinds of stuff. Although I will say, having been to both places, Brunswick's facilities are right in line with Cape Fear's. Cape Fear, I know they're still working on getting their new or remodeled basketball and volleyball facility done. But this is definitely a game of haves and have-nots. Silas Love, he's got to get it going. And he does right there. That's what Brunswick needs. 17th in Division I, shooting 68% from the field. They got to feed that young man here tonight. Nice fake and drive. Miles short on the shot. Tipped rebound comes to Cheek. Inside 4 minutes to go. Brunswick trying to push it out again. Taylor catch and shoot from downtown. Can't get it to go. Lamberth the offensive rebound. Using his size, too strong on the shot attempt. Milner the board. Milner pushes. Lost the handle on it, and that's a traveling violation. Scarborough coming in for Lamberth. Those two trading time. Freddie Taylor into the forecourt. Hands it off to Newkirk. Zach Newkirk driving right. Bounces out to Cheek. Again, it's Silas Love. Caught underneath the hoop. Got it out to Taylor. 10 to shoot. Up top, here's Newkirk for 3. In and out. Man, these rims are not forgiving here tonight for either team. Some good-looking shots just not going down. Horton got bumped. Cape Fear in the 1-1, so Demetric Horton, the freshman, will go to the line. Pretty good free throw shooter, 72%. .308 remaining here in this first half. Tight game. Brunswick has maintain the lead throughout. Mike Melvin coming back in. Freddie Taylor will sit down. So Horton trying to get them both. He does, and it's back to a one-point game, 26-25. The all-time series, 24-15 in favor of Cape Fear, and they've won the last 11. Mike Melvin on the right wing for the Dolphins. Melvin drives in, out to Cheek. Cheek drives to the bucket, blocked from behind, and they call an offensive foul on Brunswick. So good job by the Sea Devils taking the charge. And Cape Fear with a chance to get the lead here. Jordan John comes back in for Cape Fear, and Damon Osborne Harvey returning for the Dolphins. Chris Schema, glad to be with you. First of two meetings between these two schools. Next one will be up in Wilmington. Teams, schools separated by 26 miles. I didn't know it was that far. I thought it was closer, honestly, but I Google mapped it. 26 miles is the difference, campus to campus. Here's Miles, open look from the half circle, and Cape Fear takes their first lead of the ball game, 27-26. Well, Cape Fear is playing a collapsing man and forcing turnovers. The defense has really picked up for the Sea Devils. They've let a couple easy ones go by. Into the forecourt, this is Tatum. Over on the right side, it's Horton. Horton got caught up, had to take an awkward-looking shot. Good defense by the Dolphins again. Osborne Harvey, it's blocked, got it back. Here's Scarborough in the lane, short on it. Tip for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds off the Dolphins, they say, but it looks like the Dolphins hit it off at John for Cape Fear. Tough call. It's one of those ones I'll go back and look at halftime and see that they got it right. Sometimes angles have a lot to do with perception. Miles got cut off. Miles lost the dribble. It comes to Tatum. He's stripped, and it's out of bounds. Stays with the Sea Devils. 1:29 left to go in this frantic opening 20 minutes. Tatum inbound it in the corner. Catch and shoot for Horton. Can't get the three. Osborne Harvey had it poked away. There's got to be communication between those Dolphins out on the court. Somebody's got to say, Osborne Harvey, watch your back. Look out, look out. Gather the ball when you get the rebound. Cape Fear's just picking and poking and getting themselves extra opportunities. Both teams are in the double bonus now. On the 10th team foul for Brunswick, it's Dante Tatum at the line for two. Missed it back iron on the first attempt. Josh Woodard coming in. Silas Love will sit down. How about Love? Half the games this season, he's had a double-double. 10 double-doubles in 20 games. Oh, Cape Fear increases its lead by one. 28-26, Mike Melvin into the forecourt. Scarborough, top of the key. Scarborough driving, cut off, out to Melvin for three, way off. The shooting has not been good here tonight for Brunswick. Newkirk, great defense in transition, and they call a foul on the floor. The officials have been busy here tonight. A lot of whistles here in the early going. It's been tightly contested just about every possession, so no real shock that we've seen a lot of fouls. Farrell at the line at 69% on the season. Oh, wait a minute. He's not. It's Horton. Horton's 72%. We'll take our normal halftime break, so feel free to go away for 15 minutes. Keep the sound on. When you hear me start yapping again, then come on back. So Cape Fear has pushed this out. At one point, Brunswick led it 17-6. 24-9, the extended run since that moment for Cape Fear. Melvin's running some clock here. Still plenty of time. Now 9 on the shot clock. Mike Melvin cut off, throws it away. Good defense by Tatum. Oh, that's got to be a walk. Farrell can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound. Should have been traveling. Osborne Harvey throws it ahead. Scarborough is stripped, and they call a foul on Horton. I'm not sure about that call either. You come across like that, though, 9 times out of 10, they're going to whistle you, even if it's all ball. Scarborough's the guy you want to foul in transition, though, just 35% free throw shooter. And he misses the first. So Cape Fear can hold for the final shot of the half and go into the locker room with the lead. After a dismal start, they had 9 points inside 10 minutes to go in the half. They're going to call a lane violation here, so Scarborough will have another opportunity at the free throw stripe. Scarborough gets a third attempt and makes the Sea Devils pay. So technically 1 out of 2 for Adrian there. Tatum will make sure that the Sea Devils get the last look here. Cape Fear 15-2, Brunswick 16-4. It's been a fun one this first half, very competitive. Tatum missed it back rim, follows his shot and got fouled with 2.9 seconds. The box out is not there for the Dolphins here tonight, especially on Tatum. Credit Dante, he's working out there. Going to get some free throws as a result. So Brunswick will have 2.9 to work with. That's enough to get maybe a half-court look. Maybe if they can get a long pass. Osborne Harvey had it blocked, and that's how the first half comes to an end. Defensive struggle, but Cape Fear comes back in a strong late half rally. They take a 4-point lead into the locker room. We'll take a break. You're watching Dolphins basketball on YouTube, and at halftime it's Cape Fear 31, Brunswick 27. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Welcome back to Brunswick Community College. Today's game brought to you by Joe's and Moe's Automotive down in Shallow. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Your score at halftime, Cape Fear 31, Brunswick 27. A defensive struggle. Both of these teams unfamiliar with that usually, putting up the points, but points have been hard to come by here in this one, especially for the Dolphins late in that first half. They got sloppy offensively, could not get a rebound defensively to save their lives. Brunswick, if you're just joining us, led by 11 at one point, 17-6, excuse me. But Cape Fear with a nice rally at the end of that first half to take the lead. So for Brunswick, it's the same starting five. It's Taylor and Newkirk with Melvin in the backcourt, Silas Love up front with Lamberth. Here's Silas looking to post up. McKenzie cut off. Top of the key, Mike Melvin has had trouble with his shot today, but he gets that to go. It's a two-pointer, they say. His foot was on the line, so first bucket of the second half belongs to Mike Melvin. Brunswick can find some shooting consistency. They're going to be fine in this one. Fade away by McKenzie, can't get it to go. Good defense by the Dolphins. Taylor looking to push. Freddie left alone for three, can't get it to go, and that might not be the shot you want in that scenario if you're Walter Shaw and company. McKenzie scoops it up and in. Shots like that, sometimes they lead to early or easy transition buckets, and that's what happened in that case. Brunswick, fast tempo, they're 11th in Division I, averaging 73 field goal attempts per game, and they're 12th with 35.5 makes per game. Mike Melvin is starting to heat up. He buries his first three-pointer of the night, and it's a one-point game. I mentioned in the first half, Mike Melvin, double figures in his last 6 games, 17.2 points per game in that stretch. As Cape Fear answers, he's also shooting 62% coming in his last 6 games and has had 29 assists. Here's Taylor, Melvin on the left side. Melvin takes it baseline, pass deflected, and numbers for Cape Fear. Pass from Milner to McKenzie, and he throws it down, and the Sea Devils lead by 5. Taylor into the forecourt. Brunswick has not beaten Cape Fear since January 11th, 2014. It was on their home court, the Dolphins, that year. Open look, Newkirk for three. Skies it, but it's short. Rebound for Milner. Milner pushing, and he traveled, hit a little wet spot. So not really his fault, but he does get the turnover tacked on to his stats. First of 4 straights at home for the Dolphins. They'll play Richard Bland Saturday at 2 p.m. Then they get a week off, a much-needed week off. And then they'll take on a prep school on the 2nd of February. So next 4 all at home, and we'll have them for you right here on the Dolphins YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can set up calendar reminders. Newkirk is sloppy. Steal by Cameron. Cameron, yes, and the foul. Well, this has the makings of a second half surge for the Sea Devils and the potential for a double-digit lead for Cape Fear. Weston Edwards coming into the game for Brunswick. Newkirk will come out. First foul of the second half. We saw a lot of fouls in the first half. It was a tightly called game, but a well-called game, considering the defensive pressure both of these teams are putting on one another. Dolphins over 30 assists in 3 games this year. They're 3-0 in those stretches. 4 players average over 3.6 assists per game. They need some of that flow. They need some of that rhythm, and they need some of that communication on offense. Edwards can help off the bench, although he misses his first 3. They need somebody to get it going. Melvin has shown signs. Tatum pull up. Gets the friendly bounce. Cape Fear by 10. Both teams now have led by double figures in this one. No timeout for Walter Shaw. Here's Taylor on the right. Hands it off to Edwards. Edwards from way downtown. And that shot was way off. Tatum the rebound. Tatum going like a freight train. Count it, and the foul. So the biggest lead of the game now belongs to the Sea Devils. 44-32. And a chance for Tatum to make it an old-school 3-point play. And we talked about this game being a good rivalry game. And in the first half, I mentioned it's a game of haves against have-nots. And scholarship money is mainly what I was talking about. I didn't say it as bluntly in the first half, but that's what you're dealing with. And Cape Fear's got money to give to players like Tatum. And Walter Shaw's got to use every connection he has to get anybody. He was telling me some of the stories about how a lot of Brunswick Dolphins found his way to him, and a lot of those stories start with, well, I had a player playing here and I had a player playing there, and that's how it goes. The Havs right now leading by 13. Melvin, yeah, that's not going to go, and it's getting ugly right now. Milner the rebound, he pushes it into the forecourt. Miles, yes, and Cape Fear is in control. Cheek. Now here's Melvin on the right side. 15 to shoot. Mike drives in, gets it out. Taylor catch and shoot 3. Got it to go. Brunswick needed that. Timeout. We'll step aside. 15:46 left to go. Sea Devils lead by 13. We'll be back here in just a moment. Today's game brought to you by Joe's and Moe's Automotive. Cape Fear on a roll here to start out this second half, leading by 13. They've led by as many as 16. Freddie Taylor hit a 3 before that timeout. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Tatum into the forecourt, trapped the alley-oop, and a throw down by McKenzie. So McKenzie increases the lead to 15. And they might have gotten hit with a technical foul, and they did. So technical foul is called, and right now Cape Fear is acting like a bunch of entitled brats, to be honest with you. It's not unexpected considering who they have at the helm, but there's a way to win and there's a way to win. And this one's far from over, by the way. So, Tyrese Cheek with 2 free throws. Well, you look back at this one, and free throw shooting, rebounding, all those little things that make such a big difference. So the Dolphins get possession as well. They're going to have to figure it out. They got to get Silas Love going. Freddie Taylor, top of the key. From the free throw stripe, Lamberth had it blocked. Throw ahead by Miles, saved by Cameron, and there's McKenzie throwing it down, and the Sea Devils are pouring it on. Into the forecourt, it's Cheek. Tyrese Cheek, 14.7 points per ball game. Melvin on the far side from Taylor with 12 on the shot clock. Mike Melvin splits the defense, floats it up. Good move by Mike Melvin. Throw ahead, and nice job by McKenzie to throw it off of Love. Here comes Adrian Scarborough coming into the game for Brandon Lamberth. So Cameron will inbound it, 26 on the shot clock. J.V. Milner for three, no. Three-point shooting is about the only hiccup today for Cape Fear. Tatum tried for the putback, and that's the way you rebound. Silas Love with the made sure. Cheek for three, can't get it to go, and nice reverse by Scarborough. If you're the Dolphins, there's no need to try to get it all back here. 40-52 is the correct score on your screen. It's a 12-point game, plenty of time. Cape Fear's got some of the momentum, but Dolphins just got to keep working here. Stay composed. Driving in is Cameron. Strong move to the bucket, and he gets it to go. Cameron's another double-figure scorer for Cape Fear at 10.6 points per game. Cheek on the left side. Cheek with the hand in his face, and he'll go to the line. Cheek came in 75%, hit his first two, and I think he's missed a couple since then. Just to put the wrapping bow on that conversation we were having about this game, the rivalry, the haves against the have-nots. You know, despite all that Walter Shaw has to do and the resources he has to come up with on his own, and the sponsorships he has to get, and the players and the connections he has to make to try to recruit and all of those things, Walter Shaw has sent way more players to Division I schools than Cape Fear. Cape Fear does a good job recruiting players who are at Division I schools, but they're not nearly as good as Brunswick at sending players to Division I schools. Three ball by Miles, can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound as Milner scores, and Cape Fear weathering right now, keeping momentum on their side, leading by 14. So if you're looking for somewhere to go, where do you want to go if you're a player? Melvin had it poked away. That's that Parker kid. Here's the steal by Cheek. Cheek throws it down. One-hand jam by Tyrese Cheek, and 12-point game. Here's Tatum. What a move. Right back to crush the Hearts. Timeout. We will step aside. 12:53 left to go in the ball game, and Brunswick up against it. We'll be back here in just a moment. Well, there you see our next broadcast coming at you on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Richard Bland coming to Brunswick for the first time as a Division I member. Today's game brought to you by Joseph Mose Automotive. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. All Sea Devils so far in this second half. They lead it by 14. Brunswick trying to hang around. Offensively in this second half, Mike Melvin has done some damage, but defensively, Brunswick's getting beat, especially on the glass. Here's Cheek on the right. Bounce pass goes to Scarborough underneath Silas Love. Had trouble with it. Cheek with the fake, and yes, on the bucket. How about that shot by Tyrese Cheek and the foul? It's been a fun atmosphere here today. You've got about 50-50 Cape Fear fans to Brunswick fans, and maybe a little more on the side of Brunswick. But the noise in this building has been off the charts since the opening tip, and man, why can't they all be like this? You know, come on out Saturday, see Richard Bland. I love it when everybody's on YouTube, but I like it when you're here more. Tyrese Cheek, I overheard a couple of people talking at halftime that he looks exactly like Cam Reddish. So Tyrese Cheek, if you're watching on the replay, you got big compliment in the men's bathroom at halftime. I think they said he looks exactly like him. 3-point play complete. It's an 11-point game. Miles, around the world, no. Tip for the rebound. Moore comes up with it. Put back, no. Third time's the charm as Milner scores, and Brunswick just can't get a rebound against the size for Cape Fear. Cheek, the bounce pass to Love. Love, couple of fakes over two defenders. Silas Love. You got to keep feeding that young man if you're Brunswick. All the ability in the world, Silas Love, at 21 points per game, 68% shooting. More putback attempts for Cape Fear. They're just batting it like a volleyball to themselves, and now Scarborough's going to be called for an offensive foul for throwing an elbow. I hate that call. They finally battle, get a rebound, and now they're going to get hit with a call for trying to clear some space. That used to be a standard play, and now the officials are talking about it. I think part of the problem is his elbows came up. So this might go down as a flagrant foul. It's ridiculous. It's a foul either way. I was taught back in the 90s when I first started playing basketball in grade school that once you get that rebound, you throw your elbows around, clear some space. That's the way it used to be. And now it's just not that way anymore, especially if you come up with them. And it looks like Scarborough is going to get hit with something more than just a foul here. It's the third team foul on Brunswick, 2 on Cape Fear at the 11:40 mark. The officials continue to discuss. So it is a flagrant. That's 2 shots for Tatum and the ball back. You know, you gripe, and certainly that's all I've been doing about it, that call. You gripe about it, but one of the reasons why they've enacted that is we know now more about the dangers of concussions and head injuries and things like that. So, you know, I'm playing devil's advocate with myself a little bit there, but it's a tough call. You want to give credit to the kid for fighting and pulling down a rebound, especially since it's been so difficult for the Dolphins. Catch and shoot for Miles, buries the three, and that's the way it works when you get called with that kind of foul, isn't it? Lead right back out to 16 points. That's going to be an offensive foul on Newkirk, and that was clear as day. So the Dolphins had cut it to 11, and now they're getting in their own heads again a little bit. So Sea Devils with the basketball. Cape Fear 15-2, Brunswick 16-4. Brunswick 9-1 here at home this season. 2-2 in Region 10 play. They've already had a better showing to start Region play than they did last year. But unless they can turn it around here in this final 11 minutes, as Newkirk can't get it to go, but he's fouled and will go to the line, it's going to be 12 straight in this rivalry for the Sea Devils. 67% free throw shooter in Newkirk. It's the third team foul on Cape Fear, 4 on Brunswick. Free throws, rebounding, those are the two big negatives today for Brunswick. And it continues to be a problem. I mean, you've got Osborne Harvey 44%, Scarborough 35%, Lamberth 46%. These are numbers that you could beat prep schools by all day long, but when it comes to playing the powers, it's a little more difficult. Miles follows his miss, puts it in. No rebounding again for Brunswick. 17-point lead. Newkirk in transition gets the quick bucket. So what looked like was going to be a low-scoring game has picked up here in the second half. Nice defense by Scarborough. He picks it away, and now a foul called. So both teams with 4 team fouls. College really needs to adopt that clear path that the NBA adopted to prevent that. Melvin into the forecourt. It's Newkirk top of the key, drives in, draws the foul. So that's 5 team fouls now on Cape Fear. So Newkirk back at the line. 1 out of 2 moments ago. Brunswick came into this game averaging 97.2 points per ball game in the month of January. They were allowing 92.5 in 4 region games, 94 points per game at home. Right now they've got 54. Nice pass by Miles. Moore had to chase it down. Good pass by Moore, too. The passing for Cape Fear today as Cameron, again, a second chance opportunity, cleans up his miss. I mean, at a certain point, Cape Fear's just padding their stats, missing the shot so they can get some rebounds. Get those numbers up. Here's Silas Love. Nice post move. Can't get the bucket. That's the kind of night it's been for Brunswick. Alley-oop, Miles to Cameron, and he throws it down. Sea Devils back up by 17. Here is Scarborough. Mike Melvin steps into a 3, can't get it to go. Tipped rebound comes to Cameron. Alley-oop by Tatum, throwing it in is Moore. And the Sea Devils have their biggest lead of the night. And they look to be in very good shape here, nearing 9 minutes left to go. Tyrese Cheek strong to the bucket, got it to go. So Brunswick's offense has picked up, but they've got to figure out a way to get some stops on this side of the floor now. Tatum over to Miles. Miles for 3. Cheek out to Newkirk. Newkirk can't get the layup. Tatum, it went through his hands, got plenty of time. 3-on-2, he lost the dribble. And Cape Fear's going to call timeout. So we will step aside, 8:30. Wait a minute. I believe they're going to get the timeout called, so it should have been a double dribble. And I think they did change the call, so it is a double dribble. And now Cape Fear will get a timeout, and that's the right call. So good job by the officials there. Timeout on the court. We'll step aside. Come back here in just a moment. Today's game brought to you by Joe's and Moe's Automotive. Shout out to those folks in Charlotte for sponsoring this rivalry game. Brunswick and Cape Fear, Sea Devils by 17 points. They came out of the locker room like gangbusters. Great second half adjustments. They really woke up, and Brunswick has been terrible in this second half. Oh boy, alley-oop to Milner. He got pushed in the back, so he's going to get the bucket. And a chance to push the lead out to 20 now. This, to be honest, is not the game I expected to see from the Dolphins. They were so close last year, led the game throughout, fell apart late, and the Sea Devils came back and won. Brunswick has played less than inspired here in this second half, and credit the Sea Devils, they're taking care of business, beating a team they probably should beat, and doing it via the offensive rebound, as you see it right there. It's not been a great shooting day for Cape Fear. Newkirk counted in the foul. Well, in the second half now, if you're Walter Shaw, you're going to look for a couple of things. Who's still playing? Zach Newkirk's been attacking here in the second half. He's had a good showing. Chance for an old school three-point play now. Newkirk from Raleigh, 7.6 points per game, shooting at about 40%, 4.2 assists. Just a freshman. All but three players, Melvin, Woodard, and Lockamy, are freshmen for Brunswick. And they're getting baptized into this rivalry here tonight. That's going to be a foul called. It'll be team foul number 6 on Brunswick. Both teams with 16 fouls. So both teams will be in the bonus over the final 7:51 to this one. Both headed for the 1-and-1. Tatum looking to inbound it. Miles, yes. Good mid-range jumper by J.J. Miles. Mike Melvin into the forecourt. Here's Cheek on the right side, gets a screen. Mike Melvin from left of the lane, swishes it through. Good to see Melvin, who struggled with his shot in the first half, get it going. Driving as Horton floats it up and in, and it's very easy on this side of the floor for Cape Fear here in this second half. Cheek from way downtown swishes it through. Well, if you're just joining us, it might be hard to believe, especially if you've been watching the second half, but Brunswick led by 11 in the first half. Cape Fear had 9 points midway through the first half of this ball game. They're on 81 right now. That tells you how scary good they can be. Tatum gets it to go. Cheek into the forecourts and away from the ball, a foul, as Lockamy and Moore got tied up. 7th team foul. As I mentioned, both teams are in the 1-and-1 here. Daquan Lockamy, 67% free throw shooter. McKenzie back into the game. Ryan Friday back into the game for Cape Fear. For the Sea Devils, it's Lamberth and Newkirk with Lockamy, Cheek, and Melvin. Lockamy front end of the 1-and-1, no good. McKenzie the rebound. Into the forecourt, it's Miles. Friday. Top of the key, Miles. Lockamy with the steal. Great defense by Daquan. Pass intended for McKenzie. Melvin lost the dribble. Steal by Friday. Friday. Nice job by Friday to pull back. I watched so much college basketball this year, more than I have probably in the last 10 years. And I see so many of these college kids panic in situations like that. Ryan Friday just backed up, gathered, brought it into the forecourt, almost got a bucket. It was an empty possession, but not a turnover. Everybody wants to play fast, and I love it. It's been great for basketball, I think, to see the NBA getting up in the 130s, 140s, like the old days back in the 80s. But at the college level, they've got to rein them in a little bit just because they're a little more turnover prone, and you're seeing turnovers numbers are way up in college basketball this year. Mike Melvin, trouble with the dribble. Gets it out, Weston Edwards. I don't think he was ready for it. Deflected, taken away. Here's Horton scooping it up and in. So Cape Fear with its biggest lead of the night at 85-64. Well, Brunswick is going to sit on this one for a few days. This is not going to feel good. Be interesting to see on Saturday what kind of energy they come out with against Richard Bland. They started this game strong as Milner gets the bucket. Fought very hard. It was a defensive struggle in the first half, but Cape Fear has put their stamp on this second half. Melvin bounced past to Lockamy. Lockamy triple teamed. Sit out, Cheek, turnaround jumper. Got it from the baseline. The Cam Reddish look-alike. Driving in is Miles, and again, it's all at the rim for Cape Fear. Timeout will be taken. We'll step aside. 4:26 left to go. It's all Sea Devils here tonight. We'll be back. I'll be back with you on Saturday here on YouTube. More Dolphins basketball as they take on Region 10 newcomer Richard Bland. Up in Virginia, I believe, Richard Bland College. Good soccer programs up there. Interested to see what their basketball looks like. Moving up from Division 2 to Division 1 in Region 10 play, Richard Bland. 4:16 left to go in this one. Sea Devils on their way to their 16th win of the season. For Brunswick, they'll fall to 16-5. Daquan Lockamy, nice touch. No good on the bucket, though. Out on the run. Horton gets it out to McKenzie, and McKenzie has had some big-time jams here in this second half for Cape Fear. Like what I've seen from Quate McKenzie. Averaging 11 a game, 60% from the field. Tyrese Cheek, Weston Edwards into the game, triggers a triple. He's been off today. Friday, the rebound. Brunswick getting back on defense, but nobody picking up Friday, and he's fouled. Both teams now with 17 fouls. Over the final 3:30 of this one, we'll have free throws. Ryan Friday, sophomore. Good steadying presence off the bench for Cape Fear. Sea Devils got a bench warning. Friday at the free throw line, 59% on the year as that one bounces out and back in. It's kind of second half it's been for Cape Fear. So this will be the biggest win for Cape Fear in this series in a while. Last year their biggest win was at 14. "12 straight victories for the Sea Devils." Osborne Harvey coming into the game. Tyrese Cheek will come out. Josh Woodard's going to come into the game. Silas Love will sit down. So Love's day is done. So it's Freddie Taylor, Josh Woodard, Weston Edwards, Daquan Lockamy, and Osborne Harvey. Here's Taylor. Taylor gets it out to Lockamy, who throws it down with a left-hand jam. Daquan Lockamy had a tough start to the season, but his offense has picked up as the year has gone on. Three ball up and in by Horton. Taylor into the forecourt. Taylor, the rainbow shot, buries the three. Horton. Here's Friday up top. Friday. Well, McKenzie caught it in midair. Probably. I don't know if that's offensive goaltending or not. Not in this game, at least. Called a pass, I guess. Taylor off the mark on the three, and I believe he got hit. Ryan Friday is called for the foul. Correction, the foul came away from the ball, so Josh Woodard will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Josh Woodard on the season, 56% free throw shooter. And he gets the first one to go, so another one coming for Josh. 18 fouls for Cape Fear, 7 for Brunswick. 2:19 left to go. Brunswick will be glad when this one's over. Friday. guarded by Edwards. Cameron top of the key. This is Farrell on the right. Up top, it's Horton for three. Rainbow shot no good, and a push-off by McKenzie, so we'll walk down to the other end of the floor and have some more free throws. 9th team foul. And Lockamy, 67% free throw shooter, will go back to the line. Moore back in for Cape Fear. Lockamy misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Horton throws it ahead. What an alley-oop. Moore throws it down, and Cape Fear hits the century mark. Taylor driving in. Yes, nice move, Freddie Taylor. Freddie Taylor's looked good here in the second half offensively. Underneath, we're going to get a foul on the floor on Lockamy, so it'll be a 1-and-1 situation for Moore. .136 left to go. Front end is no good. Tip rebound comes to Taylor. Taylor double teamed, got it out. Woodard, open look, buries it. Out on the run, Cameron with the highlight dunk. That shot no good by Edwards. Lockamy with the putback, got it to go. So Brunswick will lose for just the second time here at home. Dolphins won't have too much time to dwell on it. They'll be back on Saturday against Richard Bland. But the start of the four-game homestand does not go well for Brunswick. Dolphins will also fall to 2-3 in Region 10 play, 16-5 overall on the year. Catch and shoot three. Horton swishes it through. It's hard to believe that this is a Cape Fear team that had 9 points midway through the first half, isn't it? They have been cooking here in this second half. Shot clock is off. So Cape Fear can run it out. Two and three, the Dolphins in Region 10 play, 16-5 overall, and 9-2 here at home, losing today by a score of 105-79. Our next broadcast is coming up on Saturday. Region 10 newcomer Richard Bland comes to town. You can join us for that on January 26th, this Saturday at 2 p.m. For everybody here at Brunswick, my name's Chris Sheeman. Once again, your final, Cape Fear 105, Brunswick 79. We'll talk to you again this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Take